Hey guys, it's Bluesy. Today I want to talk about a game that is very near and dear to my heart. I've played this game since I was very young, and all through my time gaming, I've always returned to this game. Frankly, through my time playing it, it has been a bit hard with optimization and some other changes in the game. However, I've always come back and I've always enjoyed it, as it's provided an experience that I simply just cannot find with another game. Plus, PlanetSide has that sci-fi feature, and hell, that's a big plus for me. Anyways, it's my pleasure to introduce PlanetSide 2, a game I wish had more of an audience, but still a very nice community and some very respectable people in it. Anyways, to give a rundown, PlanetSide 2 has gone through a lot, especially with the game transferring from Sony Online Entertainment all the way to Daybreak and having a version released on the PlayStation 4. I've watched this game through many years and many battles. PlanetSide is a game like no other. It doesn't matter what kind of game you come from and what kind of FPS you come from. PlanetSide 2 is a whole nother animal, and PlanetSide can quickly become overwhelming to someone new, even if they came and followed the tutorial system. Even then, this game can really require a very niche individual. Someone who is really looking for this type of game, this type of mass chaos, because you will die again, and again. For so many coming from Counter-Strike or similar games, this can be quite odd. However, if you've looked at a Battlefield in the past, this may be quite similar at peak times. PlanetSide can be like having a perfect 64-player battle, possibly even more people due to huge dogfights, tank battles, and largely infantry skirmishes. PlanetSide is one hell of a beast that no company has ever tried to replicate. With the pain of tight ups and downs, I have come back to this game year after year. I know it's not necessarily a popular game. However, due to my history with it, I would like to make a small video about it and share my experiences. I would also like to explain why you should try it and give it a chance. And when I say a chance, I don't mean install and at 30 minutes later you won't come back to it again. I mean, come back to it again. I can still remember starting this game many years ago, joining clans that are either long forgotten or are still pillars in their respective factions on my server Connery. The things that captivated me by PlanetSide is its low barrier to entry. The game is free, and whenever someone asks me about it, I just say try it because you got nothing to lose. The other day I was hanging out with friends and taking it back, I looked at some screenshots of the game, and I can remember every single time I took those screenshots because of all the crazy adventures and the huge battles that have taken place. The continents are also constantly shifting, constantly changing. So one day you might be fighting in the valleys, and the next day you might be in a very different map. And sometimes these maps change very significantly. Some days you might be fighting on a desert plain, and next thing is the desert hills. I've seen how vehicles are changing, and I've seen how many guns have been added to the game, changing the dynamics of battle. But one thing remains the same: the scale of the battle. And the tactics that are used always remain the same. And while this may be a good thing because you can always come back to the game, and it will always be similar, to some it burns them out because they're so used to the change of Call of Duty and Battlefield with the game's massive nerfs or buffs. And when I started this game, I even had a potato of a PC, a wood PC. I could barely run Internet Explorer, and to quote my father, all it could do was just get hot. Every time I logged in, I could get about 20 frames, and I would always try and contribute to the battle, because even if I could barely run the game, I always enjoyed the large battles, even if I couldn't even fucking see it clearly. Maybe that's because I'm just persistent on stupid shit. Either way, I enjoyed helping out. I enjoyed being part of the large team speaks and really making a change on the battle. Every time I went to sleep, I felt like I had a huge accomplishment, even if I didn't get a huge ribbon or a you win screen. I felt like whenever I go to bed, I felt like somehow when I wake up and return to the game, something that I did last night could have massively affected the next night. One thing I also enjoy about the game is, due to its entirely different nature, you don't have the same old shit like you have in many games that are similar to Battlefield or Call of Duty with grenade spam or overly powered guns. As I said before, there are many different types of guns in PlanetSide, and every single one of them all have their benefits and problems. Some are very meant for long range, and some are shotguns, good for close range, you know? Frankly, PlanetSide still does have some weapons that are more powerful, however, none are without their faults. Even with my busy schedule, I can always get into the game for about an hour and feel like I racked up enough kills or contributed to the fight even enough, even if I win or lose. Even losing in this game feels like you did something, not just a you lost the battle, hence you suck at PlanetSide. It is everybody, the pilots, the tank drivers, the engineers, the healers, the infiltrators, and even the commanders commanding your platoon. Everybody plays a role. So even if you suck and have 20 frames, as time went on, at least my hardware got upgraded, everybody plays a significant role in how the battles can be shifted. Anyways, I found myself playing more and more of this game, of course, as I started to upgrade, and it was my home game. No matter what new game came out, it was a game that I knew. It's similar to that for very much of the community. The game has also implemented many things over the years, like a ribbon system, much like Battlefield, and other systems to help people get an advantage, so the game feels significantly less like a grind for a new gun and allows more as an introduction to the game and gives you more of a sense of direction. Even the starting guns that you get are not fucking dog shit. They're a jack of all trades. Decent in some areas, but not exemplary in any. They can basically do the job and help you kind of get on the right footing before you begin shooting with all kinds of different weapons. Anyways, I've played for two major factions. I've played for the New Conglomerate, which I played with for many years, and then recently I've switched over to the Terran Republic, solely due to I read up on lore and hell, fuck it, I like being kind of part of the Warhammer clan. Anyways, like many people, I found myself very loyal to some of these factions, probably because I built an experience with them and have a connection to some of the outfits on them. They're people I know, and it's fun to fight with people and never hear from them for 2 years and then suddenly see their username. Kind of reminds me of that RuneScape feeling, almost. I think the best part of the game definitely has to be the guilds and outfits. Not the outfits like you wear, but, you know, the squads, the people, the stuff, the bonds that you form with the people that you've been sitting in a foxhole with for 20 minutes trying to take an amp station. While in these battles, you can really form a memory around it. You might remember it a week later and be able to tell what happened and how you fought back the spandex-wearing Vanu sovereignty. That's something that I simply haven't had with other games, and maybe it's because I'm just a total fucking fanboy about this, but hey, you know, it is what it is. Either way, having all those feelings put into a game really makes me think that even if it's a free-to-play game, it's still worth giving your best shot in it. For a free-to-play game, I've not really seen this before, as there are many different games, such as Arma or Squad, that allow this very military type of gameplay and this very camaraderie-esque feeling, but PlanetSide simply just hits it a little differently, and maybe that's what keeps us coming back every day. Again, maybe it might be because I've been playing this game for so long and have a sense of community with the game, but I still say try it. Either way, with extensive customization and a sense of being part of a kind of a niche community, I still say after many years after this game has been released, if you got nothing else to do, just give it a shot. If you just finished a game and you're kind of feeling kind of down because you just ended a single-player story game, or just sick and tired of Counter-Strike or Dota, and, you know, it's really been hitting you hard, or, you know, you've been a bronze in League, try PlanetSide 2. I really think it's worth trying. Anyways, moving on, there are few things about the game that I would like to just talk about. I mentioned that I have some of my most memorable moments playing with communities. Part of my recordings that I take for this game is me playing alone, and even when I'm doing that, I'm having fun. But I would like to talk about how joining an outfit or getting in one can really contribute to your enjoyment of playing this game. And if you can get into one, whether it has requirements or it can be an open door, joining a platoon or anything can significantly enhance your experience because you can really follow the battle. You really know what's going on. You really know how your faction's reacting. When you first join the game, before doing anything, join a platoon. Simply just join one. I don't care who the fuck's in it. It will help you get a feeling of what the hell's going on and where and what kind of shit's going on the battlefront. If you join one of these places, you will guarantee to have a better experience than someone who doesn't usually play this type of game. I've played with a few communities, and I'm still looking for, a community that I kind of feel for, as other communities I've played with have kind of had to move on with their life just as I have. However, we all come back occasionally and have a fucking mess in the game. Even if you don't like these communities, just getting a few friends on and playing through the evenings, especially if you have like 4 or 5 friends, you could put together a squad, can really make this game shine. Because when you choose to attack a base and then suddenly your little 16-player skirmish becomes a 64-player battle, that only becomes a 128-player battle, you suddenly realize that the chaos that is this game, and the part of chaos is what really brings people coming back every night. Especially on the weekend, sometimes you start to lose frames, but for those who have played Arma, this is something you're probably used to by now. And yes, there are problems with the netcode. Sometimes you'll get around a corner and maybe you'll die. Sometimes it'll happen. I'll just be frank about it. It's something that needs to be fixed again, as this game has had a lot of help, but also has had a lot of problems due to Daybreak trying to help build the PlayStation 4's version of the game, which is not really the part of the game that is very popular. Nevertheless, I would like to say that even with the ups and downs over the years, this game is still something that I hold dear to myself. And while, again, it has a very niche community, and frankly very open to noobs with open arms, it can feel like a meat grinder, and you're going to die a lot when you're new. Once you figure out that you're going to be killed from 10 ways to Sunday from places that you never thought were even fucking possible. But again, once you get those kill streaks, once you start really contributing and start, feeling as part of the team, it's something that you don't easily forget. Probably because it's not a scripted gameplay moment. Probably because it's not just some random occurrence that you threw a grenade across the map and suddenly, hey, you got a 5 kill streak. It's the human interaction that I think makes this a diamond in the rough. But even as you start, there are all these new programs. All these things that you can help get your upgrades to your character, as you can upgrade your own stats with these certification points. And you can get 100 certification points every time you rank up, all the way to rank 15, giving you 1,500, which is a sizable amount. It is recommended that you don't go off and buy a weapon with these. Instead, upgrade your own character in your vehicles to allow you to get more XP faster, which personally I recommend. And you can get some really cool stuff. You can get a health injector that allows you to heal yourself without a medic. You can get a auxiliary shield that can help you have more health when you're taking a bunch of damage. Get 2 grenades. You can do all this stuff and help get those more kill streaks, given a more pleasurable experience. The game, admittedly, while slow to start, can be one hell of a fucking roller coaster. And even if you have a shitty PC like I did years ago, you can also be an engineer and just put down ammo boxes and get a bunch of XP and really help your team start winning. And that feeling of capturing that continent, man, there's something about it. Probably because it's not like a regular Battlefield match. It was 30 minutes, hey, you won or you lost. It's more of a, hey, I've been fighting on this continent for 5 fucking hours, and if you're a no-life like me, having that sense of accomplishment can really make your fucking day. So anyway, if you're looking for a game that you're in between games on, or you're looking for something to sink your teeth into for the next fucking few years, no matter what, PlanetSide is there. Even if you want to go play Red Dead Redemption 2 or any of the new fucking Call of Duties, I don't even know what kind of ones are out these days. PlanetSide is a game that will always be there, and you can always come back to it. If you're ever fucking tired during one game, hop on PlanetSide for an hour or two. Kick some ass, then go back. Because the battle's always going, and you can really have a fucking pleasurable fucking time doing it. I know I say fuck all the time, because, I don't know. It's just who I am, I guess. Maybe I should bleep him out. Nah, too much work. Anyways, yeah. So that's a little treasure of mine. And even if I've been a veteran of the series and maybe I'm a little biased to it, I still say fucking try it. And again, not the 30-minute, I'm bored, uninstalling. Fucking take it seriously. I'm not saying like take it seriously as in, you have to do all your fucking call outs. I'm just saying give the game a chance because it's not your standard Call of Duty where you can rate it up 5 out of 10. It's not exactly like Battlefield 4, which was technically the best one in the series. And because the aiming reticle was not the color of fucking Taylor Swift's lips, it's a 4 out of 10. Don't do that kind of shit. Try and learn it as it's almost a different genre. It's a mix of an MMO and an FPS, which hasn't been done before. So, if you really sink your teeth into it, I hope you enjoy it. I hope to see you on the battlefield, and no, I'm not sorry for shooting you in the fucking face. So, yeah. And also, try not be a fucking salt lord like the rest of these games. Shit. Some of y'all die a million fucking times and then get mad. This game, you're gonna die a lot. And if you're gonna get mad and you're gonna cry about it, you'll be dehydrated in 20 minutes. And I ain't going to your funeral, bud. Anyways, that's me. I'm Bluesy. I just told you about a game I like. I don't really give a fuck. Life's good. Peace, nerds.